Imagine for a moment, just for a moment, that the warmth of the sun on your skin is only a distant memory, a golden ghost of another life. Forget the blue of the Mediterranean and the scent of dry earth at midday. Here, at the very edge of the known world, on the northern border of the empire, the sun is a pale, sickly silver coin, lost in a perpetually gray sky. A timid star that rarely dares to look this earth in the face. You are in Britannia, in the year 125 AD, and your name is Gaius Lucius Varus. You are a legionary, a soldier of the glorious Legio VI Victrix. But glory feels very far away. Your home, your universe, is a splinter of stone and wood embedded in the immense stone serpent that crawls across hills and valleys, the colossal feat of engineering and defiance they call Hadrian's Wall. The day here doesn't begin with the melodious crowing of a rooster as it does in your distant Hispania. It begins with a wound in the silence, the harsh, brutal and nuanced sound of a centurion's trumpet, a bronze tear that expels 100 men from the precarious refuge of sleep. The air in the barracks is thick, dense, almost chewable. It's a cold miasma that smells of damp wool that never quite dries, the sour sweat of exhausted bodies, and the stale, greasy smoke of oil lamps that struggled all night against absolute darkness. You sit on your straw cot, a bed that creaks under your weight, and your bones protest, still numb from the cold that seeps insidiously through the cracks in the wooden walls. Every morning is the same silent battle, a personal struggle against the humidity that seems to have colonized your clothes, that sticks to your skin like a second icy tunic and turns your breath into a cloud of frost. You dress in the half-light, moving with the economy of gestures imposed by routine. The rough wool tunic, always itchy. The thick leather sandals, the caligae, with their nail-studded soles that never, ever seem to dry completely. You feel the previous day's dampness still trapped in the straps as you tie them with fingers clumsy with the cold. Outside, the courtyard of Vindolanda Fort is a sea of brown mud and sleepy activity. Your companions, your brothers in arms, move like gray shadows against a gray dawn. Their faces, weathered and prematurely aged, are barely visible beneath the rims of their helmets. Breakfast is a quick and functional affair. They serve you a bowl of pulse, that hot, flavorless wheat porridge, a pale mass whose only virtue is to fill the emptiness in your stomach and lend you a fleeting warmth before facing the day. You swallow it without thinking, without tasting. It's fuel, nothing more. Today, the duty notice assigns you to patrol the wall. The climb up the stone steps is an exercise in balance. The constant drizzle, that liquid mist the Britons call drizzle, has coated every surface with a layer of slippery green moss. You grip the cold stone as you climb, feeling the weight of your gear like a burden anchoring you to this inhospitable world. Once at the top, on the parapet walk, The world unfolds before you in a vast and bleak panorama. To the south, the Roman province. You see the military road, straight as a sentence, the farms and villas near the fort, orderly and predictable. It is the world of law, of taxes, of civilization. It is Rome.
But to the north lies chaos, an ocean of endless hills covered in dark, sodden heather, dense, ancient forests that seem to hold primordial secrets, and a mist that clings to the landscape like a shroud, erasing and revealing the terrain at its whim. It is the land of the Picts, the painted men. You have heard the stories, whispered by the fire on long nights. Tales of warriors fighting naked, their bodies covered in blue coils, howling like beasts. Tales of a ferocity that knows fear, and a savage magic that emanates from the earth itself. You look out into that green and gray vastness, and you feel the weight of being the sentinel of the empire. Yet most of the time, there is nothing. Absolutely nothing. Only the wind. A relentless wind whistles through the battlements with a high-pitched wail. It lashes your face with icy needles, mercilessly steals your body heat, and toys with the hem of your cloak. You walk, step after step on the stone slabs worn by countless sandals like yours. The weight of your gear is a constant companion, a physical presence that reminds you of your purpose. The lorica segmentata, that armor of metallic plates, creaks and jingles with your every movement, a personal and monotonous soundtrack. The heavy shield, the scutum, slung across your back, knocks you off balance with every gust of wind, and the pilum, the javelin, rests in your hand, its sharp metal point always cold to the touch, a lethal reminder of your craft.
The hours drag on, slow, sticky as mud. Your mind, without external stimuli, withdrawals into itself. It wanders freely, escaping from this stone watchtower. You think of your home in Baetica, in southern Hispania. The memory is so vivid, it almost hurts. You feel the scorching sun on your shoulders, a heat that bakes your skin to a golden brown. You smell the olive trees, a dry, dusty aroma under the deep blue sky. You taste the sweet, fruity wine of your own land, not this sour, clouded beer they drink here that tastes like soggy bread. You think of the letter you've been trying to write to your family for weeks. You bought some birchwood tablets from a merchant in the Vicus, the civilian village next to the fort. But you sit with the stylus in your hand, struggling to find words that can describe this life without alarming them. How do you explain to your mother the loneliness of surveying an empty horizon for 8 hours? How do you describe a cold that not only chills the body but seems to freeze the soul as well? You end up writing banalities. I'm fine. The food is plentiful. The service is honorable. White lies etched in wax. Your patrol partner, a burly, silent Gaul named Tetricus, walks beside you. You don't speak much. There's no need.
Years of service have created a wordless language. You share a piece of stale bread and a chunk of salty cheese at midday, sheltered from the wind in one of the small watchtowers. The silence between you is comfortable, a pact forged by months of shared routines, night watches, and unspoken dangers. Tetricus takes out a small piece of wood and begins whittling it with his knife, a habit he has to pass the idle hours.
Afternoon brings the relief of relief and the punishment of training. In the muddy courtyard of the fort, the monotony is broken by physical exertion. The clash of the gladius against a comrade's wooden shield, the shouts of the centurion, a seasoned veteran named Longinus, whose voice is like granite. "Lower that shield, Varus! Do you want a Pict to give you a second navel?" His insults are part of the routine, a way to keep them alert. Their muscles ache and burn, but the repetitive motion of thrusts and blocks is almost meditative. It's a routine that anchors you, that empties your mind of nostalgia and reminds you who you are. A soldier of Rome, a tiny but essential cog in an immense machine that holds the empire together from the sands of Syria to this misty land. As night falls, life retreats within the fort walls. The warmth of the fire in the communal dining room is a luxury to be savored with delight. The smell of burning wood and warm stew fills everything. Dinner is more substantial, a lentil and barley stew, with the good fortune today to find a few pieces of salted pork. The sound of conversations in macaronic Latin, mixed with accents from every province, fills the air. The clatter of bone dice rolling on the wooden tables. It's a moment of camaraderie, a respite from the tension and loneliness of the day. You listen to a Thracian tell an exaggerated story of his amorous conquests. A Syrian complain about the weather for the umpteenth time, and you smile. They're your family now.
But even here, surrounded by your brothers in arms, the feeling of isolation can return like a silent tide. Later, in the stillness of the barracks, you lie down on your cot. The bustle has died down, replaced by the nightly symphony of the frontier. You close your eyes and listen. The wind still howling outside, a tireless wolf. The rain drumming softly on the shingled roof. And, in the distance, the rhythmic, measured pace of the sentries on the wall. Their boot on the stone. It's the heartbeat of the fort, the sounds of the frontier, the sounds of your life. And slowly, very slowly, you drift off to sleep, clinging to a single desperate hope that, at least in your dreams, tonight, you might once again feel the warmth of the Spanish sun on your face.
And so, as night falls on the northern border, we leave Gaius Lucius Varus, lost in sleep, searching in the darkness for the warmth of a sun that exists only in his memory. His story is just one among thousands, that of every man and woman who served at the farthest reaches of the known world, an echo of duty, loneliness, and nostalgia that resonates through the centuries. It is these anonymous lives that built history with a capital H, one brick at a time, one step after another, on the cold stone of a wall. If this journey into the past has moved you, and you wish we could continue unearthing more forgotten lives together. Your support is the fire that keeps this torch alive. Share this story so that Gaius's voice can reach further. Subscribe to our channel so you don't miss the next chronicle that awaits us in another corner of time. And leave us a comment telling us how you felt walking beside him on the wall. Every gesture of yours allows us to continue creating. Thank you for listening. Until the next story.